Donald Trump on the show yesterday calling out the Pope over his plan to stand with migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border. Roll tape.
The Pope is a very political person. I think he doesn't understand the problems our country has. I don't think he understands the danger of the open border that we have with Mexico. And I think Mexico got him to do it because Mexico wants to keep the border just the way it is because they're making a fortune and we're losing.
All right, joining us now is Robert Jeffress, pastor of First Baptist Dallas. Donald Trump says the Pope is political, and you say?
I say that Donald Trump is partly wrong and largely right in what he's saying. Look, Stuart, it's wrong to suggest that religious leaders shouldn't get involved in politics. I mean, the word politics means to influence. We are to influence our culture. Without religious leaders involved in politics, there would have been no abolition of slavery, civil rights movement, or even American Revolution. Pastors were at the forefront of all of those movements. But I think Trump is right in suggesting that not only the Pope, but evangelical pastors who argue for a lenient immigration policy are really basing their views not on biblical truth, but on personal opinion. And that's where I think Trump is right on this.
How do you think voters will react to this? I mean, the Catholic vote in the United States is a sizable vote. How do they feel about it? Any idea? I'm reluctant to ask an obvious Protestant about the Catholic vote, but nonetheless, we'll take your opinion.
Well, look, first of all, I have great admiration for the Pope. I think he's a very godly man. But I think poll after poll suggests that all Americans, including Catholics, are concerned about American border security. They're concerned about criminals, drug dealers, and now ISIS pouring through our borders. Yeah, Robert, and I believe when it comes to immigration policy,
One second, Robert. We should not forget the humanitarian angle here. And I hate to call it an angle, but there is a humanitarian perspective here. Are you forgetting that?
Well, there is, but here's where I think the Pope and pastors are confused. There's a difference between the responsibility of the church and the responsibility of the government. As individual Christians and as a church, we're to show compassion to those in need. But, Stuart, the government has a different responsibility. Romans 13 says the government is to protect its citizens. And I think the problem is when we confuse the role of individual Christians with the role of government, which is to keep us secure.
The line I remember is render unto Caesar, but that's
right.
where I go. Robert Jeffress, thank you very much indeed for joining us.